So we're in the center section at the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center, and we're getting ready to decide, we've already decided, but confirm our decision of where we're putting the Lee Gobble sculpture. So we've moved over, we're more in front of the theater now, and this is the actual place where we had a flatbed truck and Lee Gobble stood when we had the dedication and they lowered the steeple.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, that's neat.
Isn't that perfect?
So this is where he was when they put the steeple on the courthouse.
Yes, he stood on here and he did his presentation, and we'll try and get a copy of that.
I think it gives it better overall framing too compared to out here in the middle here.
I do too. And it doesn't interfere with the grass sections are made for some outdoor performances of some kind, and then the benches added so people can sit. So it'll take up this whole section.
It's about 13 feet by 7 feet. And what did you have planned for it? We'll build the, well, this first of all, the reason we can do this, these are utilities again. Let's see, buried cable, it says okay, so that must mean there's nothing here. And then this is more buried Mediacom, that says okay. I'm not sure what the green is, and this white flag did say okay.
So this is okay for this whole section?
Yes, that's what I'm assuming. We'll have to call one again next year when we go to install it. Now, what did you want? We don't just have a figure here. What did you want here?
We have kind of a flower box kind of built up to the platform, and then the sculpture on top of that.
A flower planter, yeah, with daffodils or something. Maybe stone, but that hasn't been determined. My original was it'd all be cement, but Susan kind of wanted stone.
Didn't he sell poppies for the veterans, or daffodils for cancer?
He probably did do poppies, I imagine, but he also, the daffodil days, he would go around and carry buckets of water with daffodils in and walk in and out of the stores and restaurants and selling them.
That's nice.
Yeah, perfect.
Good promoter. So poppies and daffodils, or just daffodils?
Different seasons, different,
Okay.
we'll do them. We'll do them
Well,
both.
The poppies were like the old, or wasn't it for Veterans Day?
Yes, which is perfect because Lee Gobble was a veteran, and he always wore his full uniform on Veterans Day, and he came here one day to see me. He wore his original one. He was so
very
proud.
proud that he could get into it.
Yes, he was. So it's appropriate that across the street we have the Veterans Memorial too, and the flags.
Nice. And for the necktie fan design, I'm thinking maybe a reference to his World War II service would be good.
Yeah, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Now, is that handicap sign going to stay there?
We're going to work on having that moved or shortened or something.
It's pretty bright blue.
And
wouldn't be
well, we could have him
conducive.
pointing toward it.
Carrying it. Just kidding.
That would be like, yes. Oh, I wish we'd thought of that.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but it'll be nice to have the big plate glass window of the lobby of the theater as a backdrop, because you can see the statue from inside them.
Another good tie-in is that right inside this entrance and to the left is a Parsons Hall area, and he was a big Parsons supporter on their board of directors. We have the window from Bar High.
His picture's in there for the
Wall of Honor.
Wall of Honor.
So lots of tie-ins to being located here in this space, right here,
So courthouse
reaching
steeple,
out.
Courthouse steeple, Veterans Memorial, Parsons. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And we're just a block north of his store.
True, on Main Street.
Block and a third.
On Main Street. So lots of tie-ins for Lee Gobble to this community. So we're looking at final details. You have finished.
Yes.
You're waiting for the Art Association to say, okay, this is it, ship it to the foundry.
Yes.
Crate it.
Yes.
Because you're driving it there.
Yes.
And where is there?
There's in somewhere in Golden, Colorado.
The foundry.
Near.
So all the details and referencing photographs of different ages of Lee, from earliest ages of, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 years old, clear up to
Well, We used, let's see if we can find one 50 years old. That I had some primary ones.
But the variety of ages present some problems in that a person ages through these years and changes.
Because we both had people come up to us and say, well, that's not the way I remember Lee Gobble. Well, no, because you didn't know him in the 60s. You only knew him from
He's probably
when he was 80 or 95.
50s
Yeah,
on
look
that.
at that. Oh my goodness, he has a double chin.
Right. It's way too thick.
Yeah, his face was very full.
And that's probably in he's close to 60.
And he definitely has some more.
Still jowls and stuff.
Yes.
The primary one that I used was this one. It's not a straight-on shot, but it gave me close enough. And then I just evened out everything. I had two sides anyway. And then I used the profile. Let's see. His bone structure doesn't change that much. The chin might jut out a little bit, but I got the exact of his nose.
And that age is approximately 90 or so?
At least.
I think that's
90
his
to
100th
100?
birthday.
Okay.
His 100th birthday, but his bone structure of your profile doesn't change. Maybe your jaw will jet out a little bit, but I wasn't using this for that.
And you don't have his lips don't sag at the corner.
No.
In the sculpture.
No.
And his forehead was very prominent.
I was just yes, his forehead is very, as you see in that photo.
Yep. But
And that makes the jaw look thinner if your forehead's more prominent.
And then as he got older, the jaw became thinner.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people that knew him in later years that didn't know him 40, 50 years ago are going to have a different perception.
And I knew him through all of those years, so I'm having a little trouble like capturing the essence of Lee.
But I find, and I'm kind of the same way, but as I walk around the figure, I'll get a little angle like earlier this afternoon. It's like, oh,
that's Lee.
It's like,
yeah.
and it's going to be the way the light hits it. And of course, I think any portrait in bronze, because it's not fleshy and it's not skin color and stuff, it's going to be different than if it was a flesh and blood person. So.
Oh sure, and it'll even out, and you'll see it more so when it changes materials.
So today is April 25th, 2016. And hopefully we'll have this finished in a year.
Oh, not next week.
This piece I hope it's done in June. This small piece.
This will be cast in bronze.
Right. This small bronze will be cast in bronze and then on display here is the idea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I've still got, tomorrow I'll go pick up rubber mats that'll replace the paper pieces. And hopefully, and if they don't conform, I'll have to convert them to wax. So it'll conform to the logo and the tie and this turkey ain't done yet card. And
okay. I don't have my glasses on. I couldn't see what that said.
That's Lee's handwriting.
Oh, how sweet.
I used that in his portrait for the Entrepreneurial Hall of Fame. And I had him write, this turkey ain't done yet, GGG. And then what Chris has here is my acrylic outlining, so it's
perfect.
Not truly his handwriting, but I traced over his handwriting.
The printer thickened the letters.
Okay.
So it'll more legible.
And then these components here, I asked if they were going to be in color, but you are going to color the bronze.
Once the bronze is given a patina, and then I'll go back over it with dyes and put some color into it.
Cool.
Because I think that'll
be nice.
Part of the deal.
And this is the Parsons College logo,
seal,
their seal, great seal, which we have in the floor here at the convention center.
And don't ask me what the Latin means. I've been told, but I don't remember.
I think it means go to school here.
Something about truth.
Truth.
And then his tie, describe his tie.
It's a bow tie, and it's made to look like turkey feathers.
The actual feathers.
Yeah.
So that's a reference to his gobble obsession with.
Yeah, you'll have turkey. His cufflinks will look like turkeys with a fantail.
The turkeys.
That was in his collection.
Yeah, Werner Elmker photographed the little cufflinks we have at the museum of his. They've got little tiny I don't know what kind of stones they are, little amethyst or something.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go over to the Carnegie building and look at the display
'Cause we
of the
got
Lee
all-
Gobble. It's a full basement, right?
Well,
Almost.
a lot of stuff
Little
down there.
artists.
Okay, I need to
We
go
have his
there.
collection of turkey tchotchkes, salt shakers and medicine tins and whatever, and then a big wall case of miscellaneous Fairfield items. And then we have his World War II uniform and a picture of him curbside in Paris. I won't tell you what he's up to, but
I'm sure we'll hear
he
about
was
that
answering
sometime.
Nature's Call or something like that.
We're going to actually collect stories about Lee Gobble and put together a booklet because there are way too many stories of Lee Gobble.
Because your sister-in-law Jane,
Yes.
great story. When Jane and Bill were married, Gobble crashed. Was it the wedding rehearsal dinner?
Yes, I
He
remember.
came in with a big heart, on a stick, with all of her former boyfriends' names.
Oh, I don't
written
remember
on
that.
it, crossed off, with Bill in the middle. And anyway, well, I was at Heather Hill's wedding, and Lee comes at the Presbyterian Church. Lee comes in his pink sports coat with this little notepad and a pen, and he's checking off people's names. And I felt real flattered that Susan and I were
On the list?
On the list. Well, let's see, are the Shafers here, or the Roths, or I can't remember the names. But it was just like,
Lee was everywhere
yes,
in this
it was
community.
so tacky, but it was okay.
And he would show up with his telephone in his pocket. And this was in the 60s and 70s, before cell phones. And it would ring. It would start ringing. And all of a sudden, he'd pull it out and he goes, "There's a phone call for you." Very important phone call. And you
You
would
had to
take
make
it
it
and
ring,
you'd
though, first.
go like, "What am I doing?"
I had to make the bulge in the cloth a little bit.
So anyway, it's just, what a character. He really never grew up.
Yeah.
Always a prankster.
So the also prankster is represented in the back here in his hand. You're going to have to get really close to the sculpture to look at. He always, in his later years, carried candy kisses around. And he'd come up to anybody and say, "Would you like a kiss?" And they'd go, "Okay." And he'd hand you a kiss.
And relevant to that ploy, he always had his collar undone, so the ladies would come and button his collar.
Help fix him up,
Yeah.
make him more
And
presentable,
then he'd turn around and unbutton it again.
and start over.
Yep.
And then we have the high school Trojan, Fairfield Trojan. He was a big supporter at the local high school for sports and all the kids. He was a big supporter. And then the Iowa football, University of Iowa.
And he would work the crowd at Kinnick Stadium. Everybody knew him. He had season tickets, of course.
And I heard that he had season tickets and he always gave them away to like a middle school student that would never have the opportunity to attend a game. And I think he would drive them up there. He would
Probably,
take them
yeah.
to the game and show them around, and he would do that many times during the year. And the final element there that we see is the flag, and that's like an ascot or a
Oh, it's
hanky
it's like a
Pocket
pocket
square.
handkerchief,
Yeah.
pocket square.
representing his military. Am I missing anything?
It doesn't matter.
Because
It's all good.
more could show up
Oh, yeah.
along with the stories.
Sure.
And I could see people putting real kisses in his hand. Little
I'm
Hershey's
sure.
Kisses.
Just like we're going to plant the daffodils around for Daffodil Day.
Yep, so this is going to be a nice piece. And I like the fact that we have William Coop and Friend in the town park, got the leapfrog sculpture in front of the old library, and now this. And they're all by Chris Bennett. So, and we all three have had something to do with it.
You're right.
So
So you
this
can
is
like
a-
go from one to the other, the three major sculptures in the community by the Fairfield Arts Association.
It makes a nice trio.
Susan, where's this, one of this small one's in bronze, where is it going to be?
I imagine we'll keep it somewhere prominent in this front area of the gallery or the lobby for people to look at.
Yeah, this is
Excuse
a
me.
tax-deductible benevolent gift opportunity. for anybody that has a few extra thou they don't care
Yes,
about.
any amount at all we will take and will go towards the
Yeah.
sculpture. So having this sculpture in front of the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center is a major opportunity for tourism for our community in southeastern Iowa. We have busloads come to this facility. We are ranked second for entertainment venues in the state of Iowa after the Des Moines Civic Center. We have people coming from all over. I wish I had the numbers right with me, but I don't. But they come from out of state, all the counties.
And that's so wonderful because back when Parsons College did their summer festivals, it was the same thing. And I figured, well, now there's Hansher and the Des Moines Civic Center and all that to shut us out. And it's nice to have those days revisited. That's really
Yes.
wonderful.
So all the school buses they bring from all the area schools, from Pekin area, Cardinal, MSIE, they all come here and see events, and they walk through and see the gallery, they see the sculpture. We'll have brochures, they'll get a pickup about Lee Gobble and about the history that he relates to, about the steeple across the street that he raised the money for to put it back on after it was blown off in the 40s.
48, I think.
48. Lee was a major part of this community and important to the state, I think. He had some relationships in Des Moines, you name it. He was there. So it's a good placement, and also with the Parsons College Hall of Fame just down the hall here, and all the visitors that we get to that, and the stained glass window from the Barhite Chapel, it all just pulls together. So thank you, Chris, for working with the Art Association again, and I officially give my blessing for this to be created and taken to the foundry.
Sounds good.
All right, good. Thank you.
Safe travel.